to choose between following orders and saving lives. I was watching 20 kids make s'mores around the campfire when my co-counselor grabbed my arm and pointed at the massive black bear standing on its hind legs 50 yards away in the tree line. I immediately radioed back to main camp while trying to keep my voice calm so the kids wouldn't panic. Director Prescott, this is Campsite 3. We have a large bear sighting, requesting immediate evacuation authorization. The radio crackled before his dismissive voice came through loud enough that several kids looked up from their marshmallows. Negative on that evacuation request, counselor. Bears don't come that close to established campsites. You're probably seeing shadows. My co-counselor grabbed the radio from my hand, her voice urgent. Sir, I'm looking right at it. It's definitely a bear and it's getting closer. Director Hutchinson laughed through the static. You counselors are always overreacting, trying to cut the camping trip short. Keep those kids right where they are and stop scaring them with your paranoia. I watched the bear drop to all fours and take several steps toward our camp, drawn by the smell of chocolate and graham crackers. The radio went silent after Prescott's final transmission. Movement in the trees caught my attention and my stomach dropped. A smaller shape moved through the underbrush 30 yards to the left, which meant we were dealing with a mother and cub. The kids were still laughing and joking while the bears circled our campsite like sharks. I could hear branches cracking in the darkness, getting louder and closer. The mother bear was now only 25 yards away and moving toward the food storage. I stood up and clapped my hands together, forcing enthusiasm into my voice. All right, everyone, amazing news. We're going to do a special night hike back to main camp to see the constellation show at the astronomy building. The kids groaned about leaving the fire, but started gathering their things, while my co-counselor frantically helped them pack up the food. A deep growl rumbled through the darkness and several kids froze. Just keep walking to the trail, my co-counselor said in a forced calm voice as we herded them into a line. The mother bear crashed through the underbrush just 15 yards away as we rushed onto the trail with flashlights shaking and trembling hands. We power walked down the narrow trail while trying not to panic the kids. Behind us, I could hear heavy breathing and branches snapping as something large followed our group. My co-counselor kept the kids moving in tight formation while I walked backwards, shining my flashlight into the darkness. Yellow eyes reflected back at me from just beyond the trail. About 10 minutes in, my radio crackled with Director Prescott's angry voice demanding to know why our GPS trackers showed us moving away from the designated campsite. I turned the volume down and ignored him. The sounds behind us were getting closer, and one of the kids started crying. We broke into a jog, abandoning all pretense of a casual hike. When we finally burst through the tree line into the main camp clearing, Director Prescott was waiting on the lodge porch, red-faced with rage. You're both fired for insubordination and abandoning your post without authorization. Behind us, a massive black shape emerged at the edge of the forest before retreating into the darkness. The next morning, a park ranger surveyed our abandoned campsite and found it completely destroyed. The mother bear had shredded our tents and scattered equipment across the clearing while searching for food. Deep claw marks scarred the trees around where the kids had been sleeping. The fire pit was torn apart, and our food storage container had been ripped open like a tin can. Wildlife officials found tracks showing the bears had stalked our camp for over an hour before we left and followed us halfway back to the main lodge. Director Prescott tried to explain his decision to the state camping board, but the investigation revealed he'd ignored 3 previous bear warnings that week from other counselors. The camp's license was revoked immediately, and Prescott was banned from working with children in any capacity.